Oh, there we go.
There we go. And Dean is going to sing us in with a little sultry tune. What do you got? Nice. Hey guys, it's Jamie, Dean, and Kylee coming at you live from all over the world right now. And yeah, we were having a good laugh before this show started. So we're in the middle of daylight savings time for us. So I was like an hour early for a course the other day and an hour early today. So things are a little crazy. But today I'm super excited. Kylee actually picked this topic. How do masculine and feminine energies make a difference in business? And when she first said this, I'm like, yeah, I need to get in touch with my feminine side. So I brought out the salmon shirt. I got the salmon shirt on for today. But then she started to bring up all these ideas about like what we were talking about the other day on our course. And it didn't even dawn on me that some of the things that I was saying was like trying to get in touch with more the feminine side of things. And we were talking and relating to our old businesses and our old careers and what we did and how that was changing that dynamic. And we decided that each one of us has like a different story and a different kind of spin on that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to hear about this. But first check-ins, how are you guys doing? How was your week? Kylee, how are you feeling? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good. Personally, things are kind of on the up, and I've got some feeling so much better. And then that just kind of then bounces back into what we're doing. It means that I've got more energy and I've been able to dedicate more time to creating this coaching business and the course that we're currently on with creating business content. So it feels great. I feel like back on top of things this week, and I feel full of energy.
Nice.
And yeah, all good. How about you, Mr. D?
You're looking good.
Yeah.
You are looking good. Yeah, you've got your energy back, so that's good to see. Yeah, things are good. On the beach today, chilling out. Yeah, it's been good. It's been a nice day. And yeah, the week's been good. Been a little bit, not overwhelmed, but putting a lot of pressure on myself and maybe not being a bit too hard on myself. But yeah, today was much needed. And yeah, I feel rejuvenated. And I've got a microphone now, so.
Woo.
You sound almost as good as Kylee looks right now. So we're hitting it good.
And just a little special something for everyone that's listening right now. If you stay to the end, Dean will sing you a tune.
Yeah.
You know, I'm staying to the end just for that.
My dad's watching, and he does a fantastic rendition of Yellow Submarine. It was so good, in fact, that he basically made everyone leave the karaoke place. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was in Mallorca. So if he's watching, I know he's watching. So yeah, no, I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't want to turn our listeners off.
That's how we get the diehard fans. That's how we get the diehards. Another thing too, I wanted to share with everyone, our viewers now, is we started a YouTube channel. So all of our Facebook lives that we do like this, we're going to get all the whole history of them all ordered on our YouTube channel. Pretty awesome. I'm trying out to see how good of a designer I am with our thumbnails. So give me some feedback, and also a podcast. So for those of you like listening to content and like listening to us in your car and like our voices, then you're going to be able to do that too. And that's coming up super quickly. So yeah, super exciting times. I mean, we're just one foot in front of the other, right? It feels good.
But don't get too good at the thumbnails, Jamie, because we can't lose you.
Yeah, I looked on Fiverr and it's like $5 a thumbnail. So I don't think we got to worry about me going anywhere.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, they look awesome. And we've got 22 subscribers, which is some going, really, considering it's been like a week.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's moving along, and already there's 12 people watching on my feed. You've got
14 on mine.
Mud Snakemore, who I met in Nicaragua, so he's watching. I've got Ash Brown watching. So there's a few cats. Ian's watching. Hello, Sandy. there's quite a few people watching, so hopefully we can provide you lots of value.
Nice.
Oh, it's gone down to 8. So
they're like, okay, this is. I don't know how to find our feed yet. I'll have to figure that out later. But this is all the little things. But so today, the topic. How about Kylee? Since this was your wonderful idea, how about we touch base first on like what your industry was that you were in and what it was like being in that industry on the like masculine and feminine energy sides? Because like, yeah, I never thought about it as your industry being like it was, but
sure. So I was obviously in law previously, and I've obviously made no secret of the fact that there were things about the legal industry that didn't suit my personality. Now, that's not necessarily because I'm a female, but there were obviously traits that weren't necessarily appreciated. So the legal industry for me anyway, and I don't want to talk for everyone, but certainly my experience was I was always being told you're not robust enough. You need to be more competitive. You need to be able to want to stand over your colleagues in order to succeed. And you need to want to make a show and a dance of someone in order to get ahead. And I always found that really difficult. I couldn't understand why you couldn't carry yourself with a bit of compassion and why you couldn't bring empathy into the workplace and that also not be appreciated. And there are examples that I've got. I worked in personal injury, for example, for a while. And we were measured at the end of the month on how many cases you had settled. So how many cases you'd settled in court, how many cases you'd settled out court, and also then the type of settlements you'd got for your clients. And month on month, I used to beat my colleagues. I used to settle more cases and I used to get damn good settlements at that. And that was because I was willing to talk to the third party solicitors on the other side. I was willing to make conversation with them and say, right, this isn't going to be economical to run this to court. This is going to be emotionally hard for our clients, time, money, energy. So how do we negotiate this? Let's negotiate. And I would come to a ground that was good for everyone, where my colleagues used to like to slam down phones and be like, no, I need another, and would have an argument over the sake of £10 or £50 or £100 and put the phone down and make a big show. And that was appreciated more than the fact that I actually did more and got more done because I was willing not to argue and rant and rave, and the fact that I wanted a conversation with someone. But the fact that people were showing that they were more argumentative and being more competitive was appreciated more, even if they didn't get the results that I was. And I was permanently being told, you need to be more robust. You need to be more robust. You need to be stronger in the workplace. So that was a big thing for me. And I know, speaking to partners, female partners in the legal industry, they said that they need, and I got a quote from a particular partner I have in mind, and she said in order to get ahead and to be where she was, she had to have bigger balls than the guys in the boardroom. And there's a part of me that feels a little bit sad about that you have to change who you are and your personality. I know we all have that professional persona at work, but to the extent that you really have to fundamentally change who you are, and supposed feminine traits are not appropriate in the workplace, I really find hard to marry up. And I've spoken for ages, but I'm going to put this back out to you guys, because we're in coaching, and you would think that coaching is a completely safe space to be exactly who you want to be and who you are, and no matter what energy you're bringing to that. But actually, we had an interesting conversation just in our course this week about different approaches that people were having and different comments that had come up. So how do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, Dean, give it a little chat here. Fill us in on like your feelings on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing to say is maybe some people don't know what masculine and feminine energies is in the context that we're talking. So basically, it's the understanding that masculine energy is more like the go-getter, the firm, the assertive, get jobs done, where the feminine energy is more a soft approach. It's more creativity. It's more the idea of kind of putting your arm around someone and you know, you don't have to scare the living lights out of someone to get the best out of them. I
Maybe
guess
empathy.
that's like a simple way to describe it. In my case, I'm very much the feminine energy. I'm very creative. I'm not really someone who's very assertive. I'm quite an agreeable person in the sense that I will try to avoid conflict or try to be diplomatic to get to the end result without having to scream and shout and throw my toys out the pram. Whereas, yes, I was thinking that I actually have to tap more into the masculine side, especially when I want to get things done and I want to get my message across. So that was something that came up that was quite interesting because, I would say I'm definitely more feminine energy than the masculine. And it's just about kind of getting a perfect blend of both because you're going to need both. There's going to be times when you need to be a bit more hard. Maybe you've got a target that you're not reaching and you need to kind of motivate people and get people on side. And sometimes the cuddly, you know, arm around the shoulder's not going to do the job. So you have to tap into the masculine and be a bit more firm and be more assertive. But both sides, I mean, I've had female managers in the past that have been the best managers, and they've been very much that masculine side. You know, pretty much what Kylee was saying. They literally had to be more firm and more assertive, especially leading big teams. And I think it's partly they've adapted to that side of it. They're quite strong, they're quite independent, and they get stuff done. So it's not a case of because I'm male, I have masculine energy. It's not that. It's about tapping into all different areas. If that's creativity, if that's getting stuff done, if that's being more pragmatic, whatever the case may be. So yeah, I find it quite interesting that to get that harmony of both and to tap into the ones that serve you at that point is quite important.
That's so interesting. Hearing you talk, I just realized that I have a battle between my masculine and feminine energies, a very strong battle. And I literally never thought about it till this moment right now, because there's times when I'm like, I feel like the aggressor. I feel like I have to be right. I feel like I have everything and I have this energy, and it's just like, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And there's other times where I'm just like, I just want to be told. I just want to be told. And it's like, it's this wave of like up and down. And that's interesting because I've looked into it. I'm wondering like how, like what way would you go about balancing that energy? Like, is it like the spiritual, like chakra healing side that does it? Or is it more like practice, or is it more habits forming and stuff like that? I'm not too sure. What do you guys think?
Go on, Kylee. You answer that.
Well, I've always felt quite comfortable in terms of using the masculine energies in terms of getting things done, you know, making the list, putting a structure in. I quite like that side, and I've always felt really comfortable with using that side. What I've always felt, I guess, less comfortable with is being able to use my female energy side, the feminine energy side, and being able to go into the workplace and be compassionate and be understanding and be reasonable. I've like, to me, like trying to find a solution and using that creativity side in order to get a problem sorted, or to if there's a disagreement, has always seemed so logical. And I've never understood why you've had to raise your voice and why you've had to make a show of I'm right, and that has to be the way. So guess I'm in my own world, I'm comfortable with who I am, but I guess in the past I've not been comfortable with being looked at as less than, because I bring compassion to the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I guess it's then been about balancing other people's perceptions of me, I mean, obviously now it's not that; it's about reframing it for myself. But
yeah,
I don't know how. For example, Dean, you've said obviously you use a bit more of your feminine energy in terms of like the creative side and being a bit more compassionate. And how have you found in the workplace people have reacted to that?
It's interesting because I've worked in some old school industries where that kind of behavior is seen as a weakness. It's seen as you're weak. It seems like you're not one of the boys. You're kind of, you're different. You know, you're not cracking jokes. You're not calling women birds and all that kind of stuff. It's a weird mentality. I think going back to what Jamie's question was about balance, and I don't think that finding the balance is the right way of approaching it, because I think there will be times when one will overcompensate the other, and for good reason. There will be times maybe in the ballroom where, or maybe there's a negotiation. And I would imagine that depending on the type of people you're working with might require more masculine energy, in the sense that maybe they like to be sold to. Maybe they're not going to roll over. Maybe they want the hard push and the bargain to see how far you're willing to go. Or they could be another company or another group that actually find that approach aggressive, or find that approach something that doesn't fit into their ethics as a company or a group. So it's quite interesting that it's not about taking a standpoint of I'm going to be one or the other or balance, but when is it best going to serve me? At what points do I need to call on this feminine energy? What points is it going to be better for me to call on the masculine? And I think the best leaders, they don't lead people the same. They don't lead one person the same as the other. They know that that person has different traits, different strengths, different attributes, and they tap into that. So the leader adapts, and sometimes people need an arm around the shoulder. Sometimes they need a kick up the arse. So I think that's the art of leadership, is you can adapt yourself and you can bring out the best in people based on the way they are, rather than just a set default template for every person.
Yeah, I agree with that fully. Especially, it's amazing every time you guys are both saying something. It's like my mind just goes back to like these moments in time when I'm talking to someone a certain way and they've acted some way I didn't know, and I'm like, like it's all about communicating, right? But then when, like you said, they need that arm around them, or when they need that little bit of a kick. If there's times when I'm always empathizing with other people and always being hard on some people and not like mixing it up a little bit, I guess I could see how that would work. I find that a lot with Lauren, actually, my girlfriend. I find that like the person closest to me, sometimes I kind of want to be the hardest on them, to like give them that push forward, and like sometimes it's like just that little arm around the shoulder to help them go forward is that what they really need, actually. So yeah. I'm glad we're having this talk, because it's really making me think about a lot of these things that it's like I'm not really aware of all the time. But I know for me, I came from an industry where I was an industrial mechanic. So it's like tradesmen, they're always hard, they're always lifting things, they're always being strong. And it was the point where it's like, so I'll work out in the gym and I'll lift 50, 80 pounds or whatever. But at work, I wasn't doing that. It was like there was safety procedures. There was like cranes that could do this stuff. There's all these things. But if you didn't lift it when nobody was looking, even though we weren't supposed to, then guess what you were labeled as? You know what I mean? And it was a hard industry for me, not fitting in that, not wanting to be that. And then always every day for 12, 13 hours a day dealing with that, and heckling and like all that hard stuff, and the guy's guy, and like tattoos, neck tattoo, head tattoo, all this crazy stuff. I'm just like, ugh. And that's what I was saying, now getting into the coaching realm, when I have people that come to me from this industry that were like I was, I want it to be like, a safe place. I found that in kiteboard instructing, the best I ever felt was when, this is a scenario that would happen. A husband and wife would come up. They'd come up to me, and the husband would be like, take my wife, make sure she's riding by the end of the day, rah, rah, give me all this stuff, be pointing, be like, yeah, she's got to be riding. And then all of a sudden he'd leave, and she'd be like, I could tell like the energy is weird. I'm like, what do you want to work on today? She's like, I really just want to get better at flying the kite. And I'm like, awesome. And we'd spend the day flying the kite on the beach. We'd be laughing. She'd be having a great time. Like, we'd do all these awesome techniques and stuff. And at the end, she'd be so excited. She felt so good. She was so proud of what she had accomplished. And that husband would come back and be like, haha, couldn't do it, hey? And I'd just kind of look at her and I'd be like, we had an awesome day. You know what I mean? But it was that guy's thing that it's like, the only way to have fun and do this sport is to get out on the water, and you gotta get out there. And it's like, this is not how it goes, man. And, you know, she'd be like, you made me feel safe, you know, you made me feel heard. Like, it was amazing. And that's what I want to bring like into like the coaching space and the people that come with me. I want to be like, you know what? Things are going to change. This is a dynamic thing. Like, life gets in the way of things. If you miss a session with me, that's okay. That's good. Maybe you had to miss one. Let's get together and just have a talk. You know, just let's just talk. Let's get communicating and stuff. I just wanted to be so like comfortable that way, and that's what I kind of want to bring into the space. So I think that's my more feminine side rather than the aggressor masculine side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because we all three of us are going to be not managing a team as such, but managing our sessions, managing our business. So what you've kind of said about you're going to have it as a safe space, as you know, you're going to hold space. It's going to be a place where they can relax and not feel uptight or like they're talking to a boss they hate or someone of authority. I was just wondering what Kylie's approach was to her coaching and her leadership, what she brings to the table.
Combination of both, because one of my key areas is goal setting. We need to get stuff done. We need to get you setting goals, doing them, taking action so you can see that progress. And obviously that would be a more masculine energy coming out there in that, in terms of that coaching approach. But at the same time, in order to get there and create those goals and have a very crystal clear idea about those goals, obviously I want to work with my clients in, you know, what makes you tick? Like, what do you want? Like, talk to me. Like, we're going to have an hour together at this point in time. I've got space for you to talk. And that's what I'm here for. So for me, it's a combination of bringing that masculine and feminine energy together in order to create a really powerful coaching session and be a powerful coach. I feel like both of them are important. And in the workplace, like previously, I've felt both are important, and that one isn't and that, for example, the feminine energy, it's not that there's not a place for it in the workplace. I feel like there is a place. No doubt, the masculine energy that, right, let's do this, let's get stuff done, let's have a structure, let's take action. Of course, that's needed in business. But at the same time, personally, I think to be a good manager, to be a good team leader, I think you need to bring those feminine energies in terms of, I can listen, I can be creative, we can talk, there's compassion here, and we can work this out. I don't think that there are things that are not important in the workplace. I think if you can bring those energies together, and like Dean was saying, at the right time, you know, different tasks and different situations are going to need different energies. And if you can work that out, like what's needed and what's appropriate, I think you've got magic. And that's what I want to bring to my coaching.
That was well put. That was really good. Ding. I don't know. That was perfect. I couldn't agree with you more. That is so right. And especially what Dean touched on too, how bringing them together. And I love the word harmony. I love, instead of balance, it's like finding harmony with your masculine and your feminine energies. And like you said, picking like when to use them. And it's like, for me, this is such a new realm to like bring to the surface that I'm like, it's going to take some thought, you know. It's going to be like, what should I be doing right now? What, I don't like that word should, but like what would best serve this scenario right now? It's, yeah, it's going to be fun for the next little while to think about this. So
Yeah. But I think what's interesting as well is that we all have our own styles, but there's going to be clients that maybe don't really marry up with the way we do things. So yeah, I think that it's quite important to also ask what they need from us, right? Like, what does the client need from us? Do they need that kind of motivation? Do they need us to be firm but fair? Do they need us to kind of ease up? You know, what's going on in their lives? Maybe they're in a very stressful job and the last thing they need is us, you know, having a go at them, or, you know, why have you done this? Why have you done that? So it's going to be quite interesting. And I think that we're going to have to adapt as well. It's not just going to be a case of, you know, one size fits all.
Yeah, for sure. I just had an experience myself with my my fitness coach, and I was like, I kind of like fell off the horse there last week and like took a bit of a break, and then we got on a call today, and she was just like, you know, like, what do you need? And I'm like, I need more accountability, you know, like, and she's like, oh, so do you want to have like somebody actually, like, do you want me to call you every day or message you in the morning and stuff like that? And I'm like, I told her, I'm like, I feel kind of silly. I'm like, I'm an adult, so I feel like I should be able to like do this myself. And she kind of laughed and she's like, everybody needs something different. And it's like, if you need me to check in the morning and be like, hey, Jamie, what's up? Like, what did you have for breakfast today? And like, that's what's going to get you moving forward. And that's what's going to get you on track to where we're going. Then that's what needs to happen. And so we made this little plan simple. She's like, because I'm having a little bit of issues like eating enough. So she's like, I want you to take a picture of every meal and just send it to me, and something simple like that. And then she's like, and then as soon as you're done working out, I want you to send me a picture of you that finishing working out. And it's like, there we go. And in a 5-second conversation, we just figured out a plan forward that's going to help me attain my goal, even though I was too scared to ask for that because I thought that was meaning that I was a wimp. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm an adult and I can't figure this out or do this myself. But that's the whole point of a coach, is like the things that someone else finds so simple is going to be easy for somebody else to like incorporate. And that's the thing with all the different clients she has and all the different clients different coaches have. Like, we see so many different things, and the true gift, I guess, we have is like finding that and like noticing when someone's a little hesitant about asking a question or something like that, being like, oh, what's up? Why are you hesitating with this? And then dig into that. And it's something like me where it's like, I feel silly for asking you this. That's why I haven't done it. And it's
no.
Yeah.
And I love that story that you've just told there, Jamie, of something that happened to you this week that everyone can then identify with, because that for me is a really great example of the masculine and feminine energies coming together. You've got that nurturing side of your coach, and then you've got that action side of your coach. Bring them together, and look where she's got you this week. And I just wish it was appreciated more that together they're powerful. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other, and of course, I'm not saying that at times there isn't a place for one or the other, but that one should totally be excluded is crazy. Like, I don't want to mention names because it's not my story to tell, but in our workshop this week, one of our fellow coaches had feedback that the coach needed to be maybe more empathetic, and I found that a really interesting tale of what people thought a coach must be, and that obviously that there wasn't an understanding that actually people are going to need different things from different coaches. And some coaches' styles, for example, may be more of the masculine energy, like, let's get this shizzle done, and this is do. And some people, like you said, are going to need that. Some people are going to need a bit more of a safer space. But that doesn't mean that with either or clients, we can't bring in a little bit of the other energies in order to get our client to where they need to be and for us to be a really great coach.
Amazing. Every time you speak on this, Kylee, it's just like ding, ding, ding. This is a very good topic for you. I love it. It's amazing. I'm learning so much today, guys. It's so good.
I find it interesting what people think about coaching. Like before you got into it, what would you have thought about coaching? Would you have thought this is a more like a feminine energy place or a masculine energy place?
For me, feminine. What about you, Dean? Yeah, I would say feminine. Yeah, because my idea of life coaching was like this wise old person telling you how to live your life. So it shows you how naive I was. So yeah, I would say that was my almost like the oracle out of the Matrix. You know, she's rarely ever she's assertive, but in that grandma loving way. And that's my interpretation of it. That was my idea of it.
Yeah.
Not that I'm an old woman, you know, and I want to be a life coach, but that was at the beginning, before I became a coach and I understood what it was. That's, if someone would say to me a life coach, that would be the image, the oracle out of the Matrix.
Nice.
The cookies.
I like it.
Spoon. Yeah.
There is no spoon. I love it. Yeah. I love it all. Cool, guys. Well, yeah. How do you feel? I think we should wrap this up a little bit here, but any last thoughts?
There's a place for it in all walks of life.
Yeah. I can't pull it better than that.
Yeah. No, Kylee, you stole the show today for sure.
And Dean's going to sing us out now.
Yeah. Maybe next week.
Give us some Yellow Submarine.
No, that's my dad's.
What they want, Dean.
I've inherited my dad's terrible voice, so I won't scare off the 7 people watching.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, please, and you liked this content, please like, share, subscribe, click the button, the bell, all the notifications. We'll have to learn how to do that. And check us out. The Threedom Coaches. That's what our YouTube channel is. And we're going to have a podcast named the same. So if you're watching this in 50 years, there's probably 8 billion episodes already. So enjoy. Have a good week, guys. And we will catch you next week. See ya.
Have a good one, guys.